It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
Welcome back, everyone, to Inside the Force. I'm your host, David Cottingham, with Casey Cooley.
Greetings, everybody.
And, of course, joined once again by Koo Master Koo.
Much too good for children.
We are in our final episode of August Mashup with KooCast Inside the Force.
So sad.
Yes. It's been a fun month. We're talking about Star Wars, the card game. We are going to talk about the final sixth affiliation that we haven't discussed yet, which is the Smugglers and Spies affiliation.
My least favorite.
Yeah, probably all of ours, maybe. But there's some good cards in there.
Yeah, that's good.
There really is. A lot of good potential.
We are also talking about systems, connecting it with the game a little bit, and we're going to talk about Bespin, which notably holds Cloud City from episode 5. We're going to talk about some news. We're going to do 2 questions of trivia because we missed last week.
Yeah. Sorry.
So 2 questions of trivia, and we're going to announce the winner of the core set that we're going to send out to somebody out there.
Hey, I follow all of them, and I retweeted that, so I better have my name in that.
You're excluded.
I'm serious right now.
Okay.
I'm walking.
I'm walking. I'm out of here. All right.
So we are talking
Come on.
on part 1 of this week on KooCast. We talked about the Scum and Villainy objective or affiliation and all of its cards. So this is kind of the counter to that deck, I think. When the core set first came out, it only included 1 objective set from each, the Scum and Villainy and Smugglers and Spies. The one from Scum, it included Boba Fett. The one from Smugglers included Han Solo. So you've got a taste of, man, what else? Obviously we're going to get Lando, eventually Millennium Falcon, Chewbacca. And that's what we got in the expansion, the Edge of Darkness expansion that came out about a month and a half ago. Actually, I think it was just, July, I think it was. And so now you can have a full deck of this stuff. So we'll get into Smugglers and Spies. Now you guys played Smugglers, right, against Scum, but Corey, your Scum is actually Scum and Sith.
Yeah, Scum Sith splash of Navy.
So how did that match go?
Well, it started out. I mean, a lot of my matches start out, which I start out strong, but I just don't finish. So, I was up 7 before we had to kind of split it up. I had somewhere to be, but you didn't have any. I don't think by 7, did you?
I don't.
I think you may have had 1, and then I'd already gotten rid of rid of Chewbacca with I can't remember what card it was when you lose a force battle on your side when it's your turn.
Yeah,
you have to sacrifice them.
Yeah,
and I held the force there for a
little while. Yeah,
just because I drew those 2 objectives that contribute to the force struggle.
Yeah,
and then I had.
You had a Night Sister out there.
Yeah, a Night Sister, and then I had the pirate. I think there was that pirate ship
with 3.
Yeah, and the 3 resources.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably should. This is a card about the cards. I probably should look this shit up. But yeah. So I held it there for a while, but then once we got to my house, you just kind of. You capitalized on some.
I started drawing on some
good stuff, good cards, and some of my mistakes, and you just made some amazing decisions that I
Yeah, well, I drew good cards for most of the time because I redid all my decks to 10 objectives, so I can get my good cards faster.
Exactly, you have more of a chance to get them.
Because I drew Chewbacca, I think the first time, or or one of the first times. And then I got Lando and Han in the same pool later on.
That's right. And then I captured
the Millennium
Lando.
Falcon in there too.
I captured Lando.
You captured Han. No, we didn't capture Lando.
Yeah, I captured because after he resolved the strike, because that was that Navy card. I captured Lando. Then you had to use Han in an edge battle.
But no, I never. You never captured Lando.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure you captured Lobot.
No,
You did something to Lobot because he had this. Well, I think you captured
Lobot,
Lando later because you captured him before after I used Han Solo.
Yeah, a little later because I misread that card.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I used Lando pretty well there a couple times.
Yeah, you did. You used him like once or twice. That
He has a great effect. Oh, no,
And
go ahead.
Lobot. But I just kept, you had the 501st out there, and I just kept him.
That was Sith.
Oh, that's right.
That was
Dang,
later.
That was later on. See, they're all they're all running together. Okay,
Yeah.
I had the Outer Rim Space Pirates. That was one of them. It's a nice little. If you need to focus something up, and you don't necessarily have the cards, have the cards to use its resources. It's a nice little thing to throw out there, and it has 3 Force icons, so it kind of has that trifecta there. It's neat. But I'm trying to find that other card that I used to capture.
So who ended up winning? Casey ended up winning?
Yes, Casey ended up winning. Oh, and then I forgot
It's really close.
I forgot to commit or do 1 damage after I committed Night Sister. That was later on.
Yeah, you did.
that was later on. And then what else? So yeah, I was gonna take out Lando and somebody else. It was just a 1 damage capability, little guy. It was deal 1 damage to each enemy unit not committed to the Force. I was gonna, but I had to use it in the edge battle. But that's because I misread. I misread Anger, which was I misread the Navy card, which was after a character. I believe it's a character unit resolves a strike. It was a character, but while an attacker, that was it. You had to be attacking. I couldn't be attacking and then use that card. That's where I misread it, and I was so mad. I was sitting there. Just
so
seething.
mad.
I'm so man. I was so upset. It's called Detained. 3 Force icons, 2 cost. After an attacking enemy character or droid unit resolves a strike, capture that card at any dark side objective. So. I like that in there just in case, someone has a big old unique card out there and boom, after you use it, it's gone.
Yeah.
And there's another card out that says that if it's the dark side, and this is an enhancement, I think it's maybe a Scum and Villainy card that says if it's on the dark side, here it is. It's called Cloud City Incinerator. 2 cost, 2 Force icon. It's a base Cloud City card. So there you go. Ties in with Bespin here, Cloud City. Enhanced your play area. After a card is captured, discard that card if the balance of the force is with the dark side. Limit once per turn. So that'd have been seen a lot of interesting combos. Sorry, we should be talking about soldiers and spies, but I got excited about the game.
But I guess I'll just go through here real quick and list some cards that I like.
Yeah.
There were some good objectives. Like I pulled through my first 3 objectives that I pulled on you. I liked them a lot. There was one that's questionable contacts where after you refresh, damage this objective to move 1 damage from a target friendly unit to target enemy unit. I used it.
You did use it.
I used it pretty well. I didn't use it often, but there's one. So across the Inuit sector, it's 1 resource. The other one I said before was also 1 resource. But this one says, each smugglers and spy unit you control gains an objective damage while it's attacking alone. I use that every single time I attack. There's a Wookiee Protect objective that's really good.
But you had out there?
Yeah, I had that one out there. And there's one I'm trying to find too.
The big thing about that you want to say
about the Chewbacca card?
The Protect, because if Chewbacca is Protect...
Yeah.
That means you can deflect damage to, say, Han to Chewbacca.
Yeah.
But then Chewbacca has a effect that if he's dealt damage, you deal twice that back.
Yeah.
So that's where that card really in line works with Chewbacca. You can do some serious damage if someone else is attacked and that card's out there.
Yeah. And there's also some stuff we get into right now about the Chewbacca card. I don't know, maybe later about if he dies.
Yeah, we can mention that when we talk about Chewbacca.
But probably one of my favorite objectives is raise the stakes, 1 resource, 5 objective damage. There aren't a whole lot of 2 resource objectives, but this one is while this is undamaged, your unopposed bonus is raised to 2. That is one of my absolute favorites.
Yeah, there's a couple reprinted those.
There's the
It's a good card.
Yeah, there's the new one that came out in the new Force Pack that's pretty decent, and I have it in here somewhere. It's the it's the new objective, the new thing that came with the new Force Pack. It's called Undercover Dealings, 1 resource, 5 damage. It's a reaction that says after your opponent refreshes, draw to your reserve value if you control fewer units than your opponent. There's a couple cards in this objective that is on the time where you control fewer units than your opponent. So it's cool. So if you used all your cards in your turn, it's your opponent's turn. So after your opponent refreshes, you get all your cards back for edge battles or for event cards. So that's if you can use it for the resources. That's really cool. Really cool. And I'll just go through a couple of units here that I like. I want to say Lando. We mentioned him before. He's awesome because he has an awesome effect. He has an action. He's an elite, and his action says spend 1 resource to remove a target participating unit from an engagement. Limit once per turn. So you can basically, if you have that out there and that objective that says your unopposed is raised to 2, you can use these 2, with each other to always get a unopposed bonus if you have the resource to spend. And Lando doesn't even have to be participating in the engagement to use that action. So very powerful card if you get it. And he's an elite. As I said, he's a unique card. Costs 4, damage 2, so it's kind of a turn off there. But 2 force icons, and he has an objective damage and a force icon.
Well, you're paying for his ability.
Focus
there.
icon. Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
But in the Han Solo card, also a unique and 2 damage and 4, cost 4. But he has 3 force icons. He has 2 unit damage, 1 focus ability, and 1 objective damage that's edge enabled. Lando's abilities are not edge enabled. But Han has targeted strike. And his reaction that says after this unit is declared as an attacker or defender, deal 1 damage to a target enemy unit. And doesn't even have to be participating in the engagement. That's pretty cool. And one reason I love these 2 cards, and I didn't even know this until I played with Dave last week, is their artwork work together. If you notice, they are playing the Sabacc game where Lando loses the Millennium Falcon to Han.
Yeah.
So you see Lando's card, he's got those Sabacc cards in his hand, and the Millennium Falcon's in there. He's looking to the right of the card, where Han is looking to the left of the card, same Millennium Falcon in the shot. So if you put them next to each other, it's so cool because you always wonder like that game that they played where he lost the Millennium Falcon to Han, and like this shows it. And it's just super cool little trivia.
Man, Lando's face is like, you mother.
He's like, I don't know, and Han's like, come on,
whatever, I got this.
Yeah, that is cool. Yep.
Yeah, 2 cool. It's a cool little thing there.
Cool.
There's an event card real quick that I'll play. I mean, I'll talk about. It's just because I just saw it and I really like it. It's called Swindled. Cost 1 force icon. Its action is return a target with a printed cost of 2 or lower to its owner's hand. That can be pretty powerful, especially if you're playing against anybody, because there's a lot of units out there of 2 or lower that are kind of little turds and you just want to get rid of them. So this is a good way to get rid of them really quickly without killing them, but they're still out of the engagement. So again, if you are in engagement and your opponent plays, like Corey did this one time, he he defended with a guy that was 2 or lower, cost was 2 or lower. So I was like, all right, I'll play this event card.
Yeah.
Took him out, so I have it unopposed. That's basically how that game went. Was I got a lot of unopposed and use that strategy.
Yeah, because I can't remember what strategy I was going for. I think I was going for
both.
I think I was going mostly for the setback and trying to get that Death Star dial up.
Yeah.
Because it just kind of worked out the way in the beginning, which I don't normally do. But the other times we played, I know that with the Navy, I saw that opportunity to I was like, look, if I can just focus on make the right decisions, focus on your objectives, I can end this real quick because I just had the right. I had vehicles in my hand. I had things to get vehicles on the and they were all high costing. And I had 2 play area enhancements, or what is it? There was one where vehicles cost less, cost 1 less, and then there was
enhance your play.
Enhance your play.
You resourced it.
Wasn't it like 2 or 3? Wasn't it a lot? Like it wasn't.
You did a pretty good one. Yeah, you did some.
It was a high one.
cards.
So I knew I could get things out there. It's just man, it's a couple times.
And just so because we mentioned it a minute ago, the Chewbacca card, also a unique, cost 3, damage 3, 1 force icon. He has 2 unit damage and 2 edge enabled objective damage. His unit damage are not edge enabled, or not an edge enabled, whatever. But his reaction, as we just said, after this unit is dealt damage during an engagement, so not with event cards, but during an engagement, it deals twice that much damage to a target participating in enemy unit. It can be any unit. It doesn't have to be the one that dealt the damage. So what we did a lot of debate is his damage capacity is 3. So if someone has 3 unit damage ability, they deal that damage to Chewbacca, thus killing him. But does that also does his reaction come into effect although he's dead? Or what's the order? Does he die and therefore his reaction doesn't count? Or does the damage is dealt, boom, the reaction happens, then he dies? So we had a lot of research about that, and Dave came up with a conclusion.
The conclusion is, yes, once a unit or once any card reaches its damage capacity, it is immediately destroyed.
Right.
And the reaction abilities do not resolve, because basically that card is says when, right? Or after. It says after this unit is dealt damage during engagement. So after it is dealt damage, but if it equals the 3, boom, it's destroyed.
Right.
You don't finish basically you don't finish the sentence.
Yep.
So if he survives the damage, then you can enact that reaction.
Yeah.
Which again goes back to what we debated about Leia.
Right.
Yeah, that's huge.
When she gets dealt damage, she should be destroyed. There's no ability to leave play and go to get captured. So I'm still looking for official ruling on that. Like I got on the forums and listed that question, and one person responded saying, and it was just a fan like us, a player, so they don't know the exact rules, but they're going by what, everything we assume. But they're saying that, cards that are destroyed are discarded or are leaving play.
Yeah.
But nowhere can anybody show me that in the rule book.
Yeah. There was a couple things in the rule book that were just worded weirdly that I could remember, but I mean, you could interpret some of it. I mean, you could interpret it that if you read if it's damaged, it technically leaves play, but then if it's damaged, it's destroyed, and when things are destroyed, it goes to the So it's a lot of they need better wordage.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, because this stuff is.
And another real quick example that you brought up, when we played that night, I remember we played one night when you enhanced one of my characters. I can't remember who it was, but you remember it was the one where you enhanced it and said
1 or more force icons.
Yes, deal 1 damage.
Right.
And then you enhanced it, saying when you place an icon on here, place another icon.
Yeah.
So you asked, but that was a forced reaction.
Right.
So you realized, well, so when you focus the strike, that should be a damage. And then when you have to drop another one.
It's a separate effect, yeah.
Okay, so I actually looked that up on the forums, and that same guy that responded to me actually responded to that. And he was saying,
who is this guy?
But they were talking about, someone just mentioned those 2 enhancements on a character and which one which one happens and blah, blah, blah. And he basically said, in the end, he said, yes, you have to, when you lay a focus token on it, you deal damage. Mm-hmm. And then you lay the other one on there and then deal another damage. Yeah. But I strongly disagree with that.
That's interesting.
Because in the rule book, it says forced reactions happen immediately.
Okay.
They aren't optional, because the other ones are actually optional. So a forced reaction happens right away. There's no stopping it.
Right.
It just goes. So basically what that means is that when I focus a strike, my forced reaction is to drop another force token on it. And then the other reaction is when 1 or more are dropped, deal it damage.
But it's still 2 separate things. I mean, you're focusing it to strike, and then the separate effect is the forced reaction. It goes first. You're placing that, but you're saying then that other thing resolves.
Which is 1 or more goes on it.
Right. and then that
The force reaction. The force reaction, according to the rule, goes first.
Right.
Now, if it was force reaction the other way, if it was force reaction the other way, then you would put 2 damage.
Right.
So
I can see that.
It's really how it's worded, and the forced ones. That's why it's called forced because you have to do that right away. There's no stopping it.
Right.
You can't choose to do it later.
I can see that. I can see both. I can see both definitely. But yeah, because it's in the word it's just kind of generalizing. Yeah, because it goes afterwards. That's weird. Yeah.
Well, that's why. Yeah, that's why it's there. I mean, that's why the force reactions are there.
Radio.
Force interrupts and whatnot.
Indeed.
So.
Yes.
So, so where does Smugglers and Spies rank on our lists?
I hate to put them last, but they're last. Just I feel like they are the weakest pack of the affiliations, but they're still awesome. Like playing with Corey, I developed more respect for it because they can work really well if you draw the cards right and then play them right. But they're a really cool deck. I really like them. But yeah, they're just simply the weakest one. They just have less force icons for a force struggle. They don't have a whole lot of. I mean, they have some good objective damage if you have like Millennium Falcon and the Renegade Squadron or whatever out there, and some of these other enhancements. But they're like Blockade Runner is pretty good, but there's just not much. You have to have a lot of these cards to make a great impact. It's just
there's not a lot of resources.
Right, there aren't.
Struggle.
Like I just said, most of them are ones. You have I have two resource objectives.
Yeah, but you can't really expand because it doesn't matter if you have 2 there. Really, I mean, Millennium Falcon's 5. So unless you have a 2 out there, you can't even play it.
And that's the problem I came across. Like a Millennium Falcon or a Blockade Runner or like
a splash deck. I mean, it's probably not really supposed to be a I mean, yeah, it has its own affiliation, but I mean, I think it's something that you kind of put something into like another deck.
But see, it's hard because a lot of these cards work with each other. So
they do.
A lot of them do, but then you could just pick out the specific, like either the Wiki one to kind of have that out, or the attack alone one. You could have that also have that one in there. So the ones that you really like, the ones I think you mentioned earlier,
the unopposed damage was one I would keep. I would put in any deck if I could. Is that? I don't think that's affiliation only.
I would just pick.
I really like. 3. I really like the units, but I do think that this is a kind of like take your time deck. I don't think this is a all out attack deck like a rebel deck would be. I think this is one you have to really strategize, and that's why I kind of do like it because I think you really do have to strategize. When to attack, when to keep the balance, if you can, and if you can get your enhancements out there. Did you mention that neutral enhancement at all?
The neutral?
Yeah, one, I have the neutral one in my deck.
I didn't. I actually know because I knew you were going to do it. I thought you would.
Yeah, I don't know why they made it a neutral. But they did, and they gave specifically they targeted Han and Chewie for the cards. There's 2 enhancement cards in that neutral deck.
Is that with the core set? Does that come with the core set?
No, that came with this last expansion. Or actually, I think it just came with this.
I've had it for a while.
Well, it came with expansion. It didn't come with.
I think this would work well with Jedi.
Yeah, I think so too. But the enhancements are, if you enhance Chewbacca, it's called Chewbacca's Bowcaster. He gains a unit strike and an objective strike, but he also can strike while not participating in an engagement, which is huge. I mean, you never have to commit him. You just decide to attack with them, and that's it. And then Han, he gains also unit damage and blast damage, but then he also gains an edge, and he already has targeted strikes. So he's these 2 I think are necessities to have. That's why I put him in there because But see, here's the thing: is you may not be able to get it, but that's fine because it's got 3 and 2 force icons on it for edge battles.
Well, you had a card against me that allowed you to search your deck or
that's in that
for
right
the
there.
enhancement. That's right. I pulled Han's thing out. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So. I pulled Han's enhancement out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still,
I just didn't. I wasn't.
It's a family show.
Exactly. I wasn't gonna go there. Hey, come on, guys.
Only one more show, people.
I'm only on here for and then
but even the objective though, the objective is pretty good. It reduced the cost of your first enhancement you play by 2. So technically, both of those enhancements are free because they're 2 in 1. So you can basically play those enhancements for free. So it's a good. I have it in there. So basically, I only have 9 smugglers objectives, and I have that one.
Yeah, because you took out the one with Colt Sarah, right?
Right. I'm probably going to go back and put him back in and take out another one, but
I don't know which one to take out. Honestly, I just can't figure out.
I really got to look at it.
Don't have
I may actually keep 11. This might be the one I have 11.
That I would agree with that, just because there's literally nothing I want to take out of this deck, and that enhancement one, I don't have that one in my deck just because I want to keep it 10. But if I have to do 11, I would probably
I think there's one I can think of in my scope that I think I want to switch out and maybe put slave. I kind of should probably put slave 1.
Slave 1, yes.
Probably, because I think I may take out Jabba's orders.
Right. Okay, so all in all, that is the 6 affiliations I think that we covered the past 3 weeks.
We did it.
We did it. We kind of went over them all. We kind of, we played matches with each other with pretty much all the decks almost. I mean, we did a lot of tinkering with our decks this month.
Oh my gosh, yes. Especially this past week with this new force pack.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, we didn't even talk about it.
I mentioned a little bit because I mentioned the new objective with this one. But
new force pack came out, the Battle of Hoth. Mainly it focused on the AT-ATs.
Yeah.
Star Wars card game they didn't do a lot with it, but they
yes, you did.
Their Vine, my Vine, I guess I should say. I dabbled with it. I wish I could have kind of profiled a little bit more, but I think I just got straight to building it and kind of left that.
Now I don't think it came with a Scum objective,
it
right?
No, Jedi. Oh yeah,
it came with 1 Jedi, I think. And 1.
I can't remember.
Did I use it? I don't even know if I used it.
I don't know. I don't
I'm sure
remember
I
that.
did.
I remember it just being.
It came with I think it came
Rebel,
with 1
Rebel and Navy and
Sith,
and then a Sith
and some neutrals.
and then some neutrals.
You know what? No, it came with smuggler. It came 1 with smugglers.
Yeah.
1 Navy, 1 Sith, and 1
Rebel.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
1 Rebel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
No,
it.
actually, so Jedi.
No, Jedi.
Yeah, maybe it didn't come with Jedi and neutral.
So.
You're right.
So I put at least 1 in all one of
You're
those
right.
things in all my decks.
You're right. And the ones that came with Sith were the 501st,
Gosh, yeah.
and the ones that came with Navy was the AT-ATs.
I put 1 of each in my deck. Since then I have put both AT-AT
I did
objectives
too.
in mine just because it's so
I put
awesome.
both Siths in my deck too.
The Sith out the way, not to play another time because I pulled it and I used it, but I didn't really get I pulled the 501st Trooper, but I never really used it. I committed him and Corey kept focusing him with his stuff, but it actually helped because it drew the attention away from my other units. But and I never really used it. So I'll have to play it one more time to see if I really like it.
Right.
But yeah, the AT-AT one, it's just because the objective has 2 resources as well.
Yes.
And I needed both of those because I need more resources to play those big vehicle ships.
Well, you need to include the guys that can reduce it.
Yeah.
Which helped me when I played Corey, because I remember I was dead in the water, man, and he only had 2 more strikes, 1 on each objective to win, and I needed 2 objectives, and I ended up to get the Death Star to 12, and I ended up pulling an AT-AT and a Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
My Star Destroyer was 6 cost.
Did you have the objective out to reduce?
Yes, discard, and I had other ones, so I ended up playing it for free.
Yeah.
And then I paid the 4 for the AT-AT, and I
was he exhausted? Totally exhausted.
Yes, unopposed.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Destroyed and won. I mean, that's the only way I could have done it. Though, because normally I would have only been able to play 1 card if I used my resources. But I had Captain Nita, which reduces by 2.
Nita.
I had 2 enhancements players that reduced by 1 each. Yeah. So that was 4, discard 2, 6, boom, free.
See, I've barely been able to play that objective of reduce it. Like I did it really well with Corey.
Yeah.
But again, I haven't, because also that added objective that comes with an enhancer. That's when you're talking about what says reduce 1 4 or higher by 1.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And it also comes with the AT-AT squadron too. Not just AT-ATs, but the whole AT-AT squadron.
And that's a 6, I think, cost.
6, but it's objective damage.
Man, nasty.
It's hype, as I heard today. Someone use this word.
Yeah, so I've got 2. I got both of those.
Yeah.
I got both of those objectives in my deck, in my Navy deck.
Yeah.
I love this game.
I do. I was thinking, I love
this game.
talking about Star Wars.
Star Wars, yeah.
I love it.
No, it's awesome.
Let's talk more about Star Wars.
Let's talk more, yeah. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about Bespin.
Bespin? Who's Bespin?
Who's Bespin?
What's Bespin? What kind of man is Bespin?
The best bin at Walmart.
We've highlighted
bins with 3 movies.
Bespin.
We've highlighted planets this month as well. Mm-hmm. We've talked about Dagobah. We talked about Yavin 4. We talked about Dantooine. And now we are talking about Bespin. And we are pulling the Bespin planet from the objective of Scum and Villainy, which we talked about on KooCast this past way, called the Bespin Exchange. Now, this is the one that came with the core set. 1 resource, 5 damage. It is its location is Cloud City, and its reaction: after you capture an enemy unit from play, remove 1 focus token from a target objective. So, really good. And then this is the one with Boba Fett in it. It's got a picture of Slave One. It's got the art of Slave One on there. It's really, really cool. But anyway, yes, Bespin. Really important. Not really the planet necessarily.
No.
But one of the locales, famous locales, Cloud City, which appears obviously in episode 5, where Lando is running the city. Bespin itself, though, is a big, big gas giant. Now, obviously, Corey, I know you're really into this.
Gas giants.
Well, you're really into gas.
He's a gas giant.
He might have a lot to say about certain things about this planet, but it's got, let's see, it's third in the orbital position in the Bespin system, which is in the Outer Rim territories. So it's out there, kind of away from the Republic and away from the Empire.
It's a tiny establishment.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought that was a good one. Good job. I love that.
It's got, I think it's got 3, did I say 3 moons? Yeah, it's got 3 moons. And it's got 12 standard hours for the rotation period. It takes 14 years, 5,110 standard days for its orbit around the sun.
So how do birthdays work?
I don't know.
You age 1 year every 14 years.
I mean, the illustration of it is very similar to Jupiter, which you had mentioned, Corey, being the size of it is. And it is a mining planet, a gas. I mean, we said it's a gas giant, so they mine gas basically off this planet, and that's how Cloud City came to be. There's a layer, approximately it says 150 to 180 kilometers from space. There's a layer around Bespin called the Life Zone, and that is where the oxygen atmosphere is, which makes it habitable for humans, obviously. So that is where Cloud City is built.
I think oxygen, is a little less denser than probably of other things, because they actually found in Jupiter they looked like water clouds in just not a lot.
Found Cloud City,
in Jupiter.
There's Cloud City.
But
living in Star Wars.
Oxygen, I think you could have really a lot of dense gas that is as close. So that's interesting. Yeah, that's cool. Because what really racked my brain forever was that what was that planet Bis or that because I mentioned to Casey, it's where the Emperor keeps his clones.
Yes,
it's just the physics of that that should not be there.
It's in basically the center of the galaxy.
Yeah, it should. It's
center of the galaxy.
It would have to. I don't know.
In the core.
I was just trying.
It explains though.
I was trying to think of scenarios of how because it's so close that it's. Because I even tried to draw diagrams where because it's the star it revolves around. It depends because there's so many other stars since it's in the deep core that are going around its supermassive black hole at it's going as fast as the moon would go around the Earth.
Faster.
It
just means when you're on the planet, you probably have to wear your seatbelt. That's all.
Yeah, and if it's far enough out. And the star is big enough, and the planet is small enough, its gravity could hold on to it, but it would almost be phase locked in a way in such that as it goes around, it would be kind of like take a rubber band around your finger and spin it, and it constantly is like you take you're turning you hold a bucket with water and you spin really fast. That's how the planet would.
That's like the moon.
Yeah, exactly like the moon. I mean, because it would have to. Or it would be almost dragging it as it would be kind of following it, so it'd be interesting.
I mean, if you're standing on the planet or whatever, would you even feel this? You still wouldn't feel this.
Oh, I mean, no, you wouldn't feel any of the inertia.
Because remember, it talked about how it was kind of tricky to land on this planet.
Oh, it'd have to be.
Yeah,
it did say that.
Yeah, it did say that. Because it's very dangerous to try to land on this planet.
There's a lot of it would be a very dangerous, and it would be.
But when you're a Sith Lord,
your instincts of a Jedi, you can do it.
I mean, it's because there's so many stars whipping around real fast.
Lord.
Yeah.
Gravity would be crazy. It would be interesting because it seemed like another star would steal that planet away because it'd be so many of them in the deep core. But I don't know. Anyway, so sorry. I just that was one of the ones that really boggled me. But Bespin sounds like a pretty. I mean, sounds like a.
Sounds like a vacation spot.
Yeah. I mean, it
looks pretty.
A very. I don't know. Physics. It sounds right. There's really nothing that I'm bothered by it at all because. It sounds legit to me.
Star Wars in general.
So the planet was first discovered by explorers from the Hyperspace Navigators Guild prior to the Mandalorian Wars, and it was first colonized on 1989 BBY. So close to 2,000 years before the Battle of Yavin. A lot of stuff happened on there. There was a Jedi Enclave on there.
Yeah,
there were Sith Wars on there. And eventually, around 400 BBY is when when Cloud City was built by the Incom Corporation. So it was around for a good 400 years or so before we get to episode 5.
How does it float up there? Like how does it?
Well, that's when we talk about Cloud City.
Okay, my bad. We're talking about Bespin. My bad. Sorry. My big dog.
We're not that far.
Okay.
We got to save for a future show.
Shutting up.
So what else, Case? The gas, the main gas that is mined is called Tabana gas. Now, Tabana gas is mainly a gas.
What's at the bottom with you?
Okay. Now we're getting into that's a made up thing. So now I'm back to square one. Like what molecules is it made out of? Oh no. God.
Now, Tabana gas, in order to be used, it needs to be refined into a solid or liquid state. And this is mainly used in weapons.
Interesting.
It is a weaponry gas to power blasters.
Oh, cool.
To power bombs. It is said that it's said that the more you use, obviously, but a little amount can actually destroy an entire military base if you use this gas in bombs. So
I wonder if it has anything to do with methane or anything.
Agent Orange.
Agent Orange, yeah. So
you're wearing an orange right now.
It was obviously used. It was obviously the heights of some of the mining obviously happened during wars. Clone Wars being one of them. So a lot of stuff happened then. So anyway, we get close to 22 BBY, and this actually kind of ties into Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
And
say what year?
22 BBY. Well, 22 BBY. No, I'm sorry. That was Clone Wars stuff.
Yeah.
But later on, during between 3 and 4,
right,
was the whole Galen Merrick thing and Force Unleashed, a game that we've talked about a lot of. Mm-hmm. He actually finds General Coda, who's a former Jedi, hiding out on Bespin. Well, actually, I don't think I take that back. I think that was after he had defeated him. You remember he goes back and recruits him?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I think that is when, because he fights him on a deserted planet.
Yeah.
When he's blinded, he blinds him. Remember, he blinds him with his lightsaber? Mm-hmm. He goes back and finds General Coda on Cloud City to recruit him to find the other leaders of the Republic. And that's when he sends them to rescue Bail Organa. He sends them to rescue Garn Bail of Bliss, which he rescues on Cloud City, apparently. And I don't remember that part of the game either, but you're talking about. Yeah. So Cloud City, and obviously, like you said, Case, it was, there was a lot of battles during the original trilogy, right?
That, before the show.
We saw obviously the introduction of Lando in episode 5. He is what's called the Baron Administrator of Cloud City. He obviously what happens in episode 5, but when they leave, when you remember Vader says, he threatens to leave the garrison there.
Yeah.
But in the end, he actually does leave the garrison there. So there's a Republic present, or Imperial presence there, which caused a lot of battles to go back and forth to keep Cloud City either for the Alliance or for And it makes sense because the gas, like I said, is used for weapons.
Right.
So, what else we got?
With Bespin, I mean,
Bespin?
if we're
Yeah.
saving stuff for Cloud City,
Well,
then
Cloud City, that's
not much
a whole
then.
other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's in essence the planet of Bespin. Now, I do want to say,
it has it has some animals, some native animals that fly around,
Yes.
that kind of stuff, which is pretty cool.
that's what I was about to say was a little side tidbit. In episode 2, do you remember Camino when they go to Camino?
Yeah.
The clone.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
The first thing you see, one of the first things you see is that big whale that flies out of the water, and the Camino guys. It's called an AWA, and it's short, basically AWA, AIWHA, and it's short for air whale.
Okay.
So AWA, and that design initially, Ralph McQuarrie drew those flying whales in the Bespin paintings when Lucas was writing, but it would have cost too much. They couldn't make it look real enough, so he didn't do it during episode 5 and brought them back.
Put them on
for
Camino.
episode 2 during Camino. So those were initially supposed to be flying around Cloud City.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So little tidbit. He talks about that, I think, in the commentary
cool.
that I first listened to. So Bespin, not much going on there except Cloud City, and I'm sure one day we will highlight Cloud City, especially if we highlight Lando. We'll get more into that. But this is Systems Month, so that's all we want to talk about with Cloud City.
There you go.
All right.
So what's kind of news we got this week?
There are only a few little newsies out there. I'll just kind of mention, we don't talk a lot about the books that come out on this show a lot, but I've been getting...
We've been mentioning them, though.
We'll mention a little bit, but I've just been getting a lot of tweets, reading a lot of tweets about this book. And I mentioned earlier on, actually, the Kenobi novel that is coming out. It actually comes out tomorrow. I guess, actually, if you listen to this on Tuesday, it's actually today. So, came out August 27th.
Well, there you
so
go.
27th. It's out now. Go buy it. Star Wars Kenobi by John Jackson Miller. It's set in between 3 and 4 about Obi-Wan Kenobi on Tatooine. Kind of his... I think it's supposed to be immediately after Episode 3. So Kenobi's, as far as he knows, he killed Anakin Skywalker. So it's him dealing with, I just killed my best friend. I just killed my brother, basically. So it's about him dealing with that. And I don't know much else about it. I haven't read the book. So maybe we'll see some Luke Skywalker in it. Maybe we won't. Who can say?
What if we see Darth Maul? What if we see like
Maul.
the movie that
ruins the whole idea of a spin-off of Obi-Wan?
I guess it would ruin it, but I guess it'd also be like kind of hype.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, I'm very interested in these books that come out from here on out. Like this book right here could very well contradict what we may see of the supposed rumor of Obi-Wan in Episode 7. You know, I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows?
I don't know.
I would be a fun read, I think.
It would be a fun read. I love the expanded universe. I definitely, although it's probably all of it's going to get contradicted with Episode 7, I still recommend you guys to read it because there's a lot of great stories out there. So that's one of the little pieces of news. But now the bigger news that you
read my news.
Noticias that deals with Episode 7. First one is Episode 7. It is said that J.J. Abrams will shoot Episode 7 with 35mm film and not digital, as what George Lucas did, starting with Episode 2. He went full digital with 2, then did 3. Was 1 with film totally?
Yes, 1 was film.
So a lot of fans are happy about this. A lot of fans, I don't know, might hate this.
I think it's cool.
But J.J. Abrams has shot all of his films on film. All of his movies on film. He's never done digital. He's one of these purist guys, which is nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's a lot of arguments for film over digital. So he says right now he can never see a reason why he would not use film unless it was just abolished basically altogether or whatever. So
abolished. No more film.
No more for the world.
That is it. Mr. President, I don't want to hear anything of it.
I saw a bad movie.
Veto. Yeah. No, that's not what you do in this situation.
So this can mean a lot of things because it does. When I first heard it, I felt like, well, then will the effects be different? But not necessarily because he shot Star Trek on film. He shot Super 8 on film. Lucas shot Episode 1 on film, and the special effects just perfect.
well, great.
So at least at the time they were made. So I think
that's the thing is that when it's shot on film, it's still scanned in digitally.
Yeah, that's true.
So all the effects are still done digitally.
Yeah.
And,
So why not just cut just scan this film digital?
I know.
Well,
there's a look
Is it really
that
does
some
look different?
filmmakers still believe that they can only achieve
Yes.
with film.
Okay.
Yeah, they say it's the highest quality stuff out there, which is
So you
debatable.
can't film in digital and then have like a filter.
Well, that's why like a lot of these digital sensors, getting very technical, are trying to represent a film look.
Yeah.
Like you have the 35 sensor or whatever.
Sure.
I mean, if you go watch, like the last Pirates movie, like that was shot on the Red,
Yeah.
which is a digital film camera, basically a digital camera. But I mean, the average person can never tell.
Yeah.
Whether or not that was 35 or
I can't
Red.
tell. I mean, I'm average, I guess, but I mean, I still think
You
it's.
can tell?
I cannot tell.
Yeah, no, you.
I can tell.
Well, with the Red, that's
Pixels.
the
I can
one
see
camera. That's the one camera where I don't think you can tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like you said, what they do is when they shoot on film, they usually scan. Now you can scan it up to 8,000 resolution, whatever 8K, what they call it. Now, normally, what everything is scanned in, it's scanned in at 6K. Well, up until the Red, there was never a way to achieve 6K digitally. So when it and always and you can go back all the way to Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Digital effects, CG digital effects are always done at the highest resolution. They were always done at 6K. That's why it took sometimes months for one shot to get rendered because they were so high quality. But they thought ahead because they wanted to keep that stuff as sharp as possible, as high detail as possible. So, but now it's obviously a lot faster.
Yeah.
But they're still done at 6K, even though when they technically I think they edit the movie and they release the movie only at the highest they do 4K. Normally it's only 2K.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why when Red came out, oh man, it's a 2K camera, it's a 4K camera.
Yeah. 4K TVs, 2K TVs.
Yeah, now we're at that time where digital is kind of pushing film out the way, but some of these filmmakers and JJ kind of surprises me because he's actually a younger guy.
Yeah.
He's not the older type where like a Spielberg
Whippersnapper.
Well, I think that's it. Just
still
it.
wants to use that. Spielberg's his idol too.
Yeah,
so
I think that's it.
But guys like Cameron, guys
Yeah.
like Lucas, obviously, who pioneered it. Even if I think about it, even Scorsese, I think, has gone over to digital.
Now he has.
Yeah.
I think he hated it, but
Yeah.
he's like with Hugo. He's like, all right, I'm doing digital. That's just the
So,
way it is.
It's like one of the things where if they try it, I think they'll see the benefits of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so much faster. You don't have to
Yeah.
wait for processing and all that crap.
And we're taught, and when I went to film school, we were taught, if you have a chance, at least do one film in film,
In
do a
film,
movie,
yeah.
just because it's good experience and it's good.
Well, I did one.
Yeah.
I did one in New York, a 16 millimeter, and it sucked.
Yeah,
So there you go.
I know. I don't ever want to shoot film. I love digital.
No, I tried it. It's no fun.
Yeah, I love digital, and
Because
you can tell. Yeah,
The big part is like I'm sitting there waiting for the person to get focus because the person has to measure from
Yes.
the lens to the person how distance wise,
Yeah.
and then look at his chart.
Yeah,
Okay, and then
Yeah.
focus. Okay, now we're good. And then this is horrible.
Yeah.
This is horrible.
I mean,
It took half the time was setting up to shit, and so anyway,
but you can tell. I mean, we're tangent, but you can sometimes tell film. Like Walking Dead is film. You
Yeah.
can definitely tell because of the grain, and the grain's not a bad grain. It's a good
But you
film
can add grain.
You can.
Exactly.
So there you go, guys. Just add some
I
grain.
understand.
Yeah.
Oh man,
are you sure? Are you positive it shot film?
I'm pretty sure. I feel like I heard that
I
somewhere.
don't know.
In a
They're like-
book.
because like Darren Aronofsky, I think, still use film,
Yeah,
and
He
I
would.
think Paul Thomas Anderson still does. And and it's still great. It's great quality, but you can still see that film, that rugged look, it's a good look. But I like digital guy.
It's a good look for you.
it's a good look for you.
Anywho, the biggest news that we have for you guys tonight, it's decently big, I guess. It kind of comes because we talked a little bit about some news that this relates to. But basically, this new rumor, and it's a rumor from Latino Review. They got all these rumors out there.
Review.
They just
I'm
are
sorry.
crapping out rumors.
Rumor.
And they say it's official, but it's never official until Lucasfilm says it. But this is but their source is Lucasfilm apparently. So
It's on the Force.net, I think.
it
too,
is.
isn't it?
Is it like official though?
You're talking about the filming date?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's on Force.net, but it's still rumored.
It's still
though.
rumored.
Yeah.
It's not official.
I think the
official.
main source is Latino Review.
Yeah.
But basically, okay, here it is. Been hyping it up.
Yeah.
The
ready.
starting date, production date of Star Wars Episode 7, because they've been in pre-production. The starting production date is rumored to be January 1st of next year. Because there was a conference where JJ said we will be starting beginning of next year.
Yes.
And we'll be moving into London at the end of this year to start production next year. But that's what was officially confirmed. But it was kind of unconfirmed that some source said like, we're shooting January 21st, just so you know. Kind of thing. Which is the day after, I think, Martin Luther King Day. And that's basically, I mean, that's...
Wasn't that
I mean,
special?
it makes sense. I mean, it's not like a big, like, oh my gosh, why, they have to shoot that early so they can get it out 2015. But this is also something else. It was rumored, I think we talked about this last week, that it was rumored that Episode 7 will come out December of 2015. Not May, which everybody assumed. It's going to come out instead around Christmas time of December 2015. And apparently this rumor, this source or whatever, kind of reiterates that fact. That Disney Lucasfilm are so far behind on schedule for Episode 7 that it will be released around Christmas of 2015. So it's kind of reiterating that rumor. Focus on rumor.
I actually think
Yes.
that's a good idea
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it might actually be true.
because there's a lot of movies that summer.
Yes, there are.
Yeah.
But see, if it was
We're behind schedule.
if
I
it
think
was
something
May-
else pushed back, too. I think Jurassic Park was going to
That's
come out.
been
wasn't it?
pushed back every year.
movie. is
Oh,
coming
really?
out, yeah.
I may
But anyway,
not
but is
have
that
been
coming
that,
out? Is that coming out 2015?
It's supposed to be.
So you got Avengers.
Yeah.
You got Batman, Superman.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
You got
Another Independence Day,
another
apparently.
Independence Day, Assassin's Creed movie. I think another Pirates.
Yes.
Transformers.
Transformers is next year. Transformers 2014.
Okay. And Ant-Man.
Ant-Man's
You
2015.
have this movie, Star Wars. Other things. There's many other things.
Yes. So I actually think it's smart
Yeah.
to push it back and then get as many people there as possible. I mean,
Yeah, it just stinks, but yeah,
it
it's
does
okay.
stink because you're
It's
talking
okay.
over 2.5 years from now.
Dang it!
I mean, I can't even wait to see like the little, just even like Batman
Yeah.
Superman, just the little glimpses here and there.
Yeah.
We're gonna, oh man, I mean,
Yeah, we're gonna be so giddy for the next whatever year when it starts
Ridiculous.
shooting.
I'm just going to try to suppress and just focus on day to day. And then
yeah, I know.
That's how it was.
Just go on with my life.
and then all of us, and then, just go on.
Like between 2 and 3 for me was hard. But episode 2 and episode 3.
Episode 1 was. I mean, just hearing that they were doing episode 1.
Yeah.
Right before they released the special editions, they said we're doing episode 1. I mean, I could I could not wait.
What?
Oh my god, I could not. I was in college and I was
Yeah.
like not wanting to go to school. I was just like,
I would
man,
be
I just
the
want to go
same
sit
way.
in line and wait.
I would be
for
the
3
same
years.
way.
So that's really all the.
Yeah.
That's really all the
That's
news. I think,
all.
right?
It's all the big stuff. Yeah, pretty much it.
Okay, so a couple things here before we wrap up. First off, let's see. Let's go ahead and knock out trivia
Got it.
Okay.
before
Yeah.
we finish up the show. We got
Trivia,
2 questions
trivia.
here. 2 questions coming.
Coming at you.
Corey is 2-0, I think. Right?
Oh yeah.
All right, and then our standings. I'm 11-10. Casey's 12-9. All right, here we go. This is question 2488.
2488.
2488. Coming from, of course, this is Obsessed with Star Wars.
Is that your age and your birth year?
What's that?
2488.
Yes, it is.
You're 24 years old, born in
No, I thought you were-
1988.
I'm 24 years old and I was born in
Turning-
1988.
you're
Turning
right.
25 this year.
Turning
wow.
25 in November. Well, I was just like thinking like, I'm ready for this. I want to get 2 more. I want to be
Let's see. Finding. Oh, man, this is like the last page.
The last question.
Well, there is only 2,500 questions in here. So
Yeah.
Ah, close.
here we go. In the, obviously, Return of the Jedi era, 2488. Here we go. Which character did Michael Carter portray in Return of the Jedi?
Michael Carter.
Which character did Michael Carter portray in Return of the Jedi? A. Jabba the Hutt. B. Boba Fett. C. Malakil. Or D. Bib Fortuna.
Son of a biscuit.
This is gonna be a
I
wild
gotta
guess.
get. Okay, I gotta guess. I'll just go ahead. Yep. I'll go Bib Fortuna.
I was thinking that too. Michael Carter.
I'm just Is it Michael Carter? Isn't that the guy that played not obviously a different one, but the guy that played Hawkman in Smallville? Wasn't that Michael Carter?
The character name. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, it is the character name.
I don't think it's Michael. It's Carter. Something
Oh,
Carter.
yeah, it is Carter. Yeah, okay, the guy,
Yeah.
his alter ego, I guess,
Yes.
is Carter.
Something
Okay,
Carter,
That's
yeah.
what I think
Carter.
it is.
So
Anyway,
we got, is it Jabba, Boba,
side story.
Yeah.
Jabba, Boba, and
Jabba,
who else?
Boba Fett.
Um,
Some random dude I don't even know.
a guy named Malakil. Or Malakili, looks like. Malakili. 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 Bib Fortuna, Jabba the Hutt, Boba Fett.
Oh man, I don't know.
You just saying Bib Fortuna?
Yes.
I'll go the other weird guy. I don't know if it's Jabba or Boba.
I'm going with Malakili?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Jesus, this sucks.
I don't know who Malakili is. Do
I
you?
don't know who that is.
Yeah, I
Probably
don't
know
either.
the face.
It's probably maybe another bounty hunter or something like that, but I don't think it's a bounty hunter. I'm actually going to go with Bib Fortuna as well.
Okay.
And you're going Malakili?
Sure.
Okay, here we go. So we'll go D, Bib Fortuna.
No!
Because I know it's not Boba. That's Jeremy Bullock.
Yeah, that's Jeremy Bullock. And Jabba was like 3 people.
Yeah.
Probably.
So
Who's this guy? Malakili? How do you
Malakili.
spell that?
I was gonna say. I was gonna say that guy.
Malakili.
Mala.
I was gonna say him.
Wow, we're going just a couple of questions back for 2484.
Oh, it's the Rancor guy, owner.
Oh, well, if I'd have known that, I wouldn't
Oh,
have
yeah,
guessed.
different name. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'd have known that, I wouldn't have guessed him.
Well, I mean, that
That could have been
Crybaby.
Michael Carter.
Yeah.
Crybaby.
He looks like a Michael Carter.
He does look like a Michael Carter.
Oh, Return of the Jedi. That's right.
Return of
Okay,
I
we're
was thinking
staying.
of
Is he
Return of the Jedi.
Rancor?
We're
No.
staying on the same page here. 2484. It's a couple questions back.
Jeez.
So Return of the
Okay.
Jedi era.
Who played?
What did the celebrating Gungan in Theed yell after he learned that the Empire had been destroyed?
Oh, jeez.
So this
Suck
is
on that, Empire!
this is a special edition insert,
Yeah.
obviously. When they put Naboo back in Theed, and there's all these Gungans celebrating. So A, we gonna have a party.
Yeah, baby.
B, the rebellion is bombad. C, we free. Or D, you guys bombad.
Okay. So in Gungan City when they celebrate, or when
They're in Theed.
Okay.
You know that shot,
Yeah.
and then there's like a bunch of Gungans on the top
Yes.
there, and they're yelling.
Yeah.
So this was after what now? This was.
At the very end of
Right.
episode 6, after the Death Star destroyed,
Yeah.
they show all the celebrating cities.
Uh-huh.
They reinserted Tatooine. They reinserted Bespin, a new Bespin shot. They reinserted Coruscant,
So
and then they reinserted Theed. So A, B, C,
Okay.
or D.
I go again.
We gonna have a party.
No.
gonna have a body.
B, the rebellion is bombad. C, we free. Or D, you guys bombad.
Okay.
I'll say Weeza free.
Me too.
We so free.
Yeah,
But it could be B too. I don't know.
I don't know.
no, I think it's C.
See?
Everybody going C?
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
You're 4-0, Corey.
No,
You missed the
3-1,
last
3-1,
one. You missed
3-1.
the last one.
I did miss
Yeah.
the last one.
Well, there you go.
So
guys.
there's two.
Those good
two
questions.
trivias for you. Yeah. Matt moves mine up to 13-10. Casey is 14-9. So I'm still one back.
Oh,
And Corey, keep your record 3, and I'll keep your record here
Okay.
3-1.
All right.
Just so whenever you come back.
You're beating Chad right now.
Oh, I am?
I don't know. What did he
was
do?
only 2-0, wasn't he?
Was he 2-0?
I think so.
Did he get them both right?
I think he did.
Dang, I can't remember. I gotta mark that down too. I gotta figure that out. Can't believe he got both right. All right, so before we finish this up, obviously we're gonna talk about the winner of the core set. But first, before that, our overall final thoughts and what we want to say about Star Wars: The Card Game. Corey, what do you guys say about it?
I think it is I think it's a fantastic game. if they keep going the way they're going, I think it can withstand the test of time, which time was one of the worst, one of the biggest villains of some of these card games that spark up because they just run out of stuff and they just quit. And but I would say, yeah, just I don't know. Was this supposed to be like a one sentence thing or?
No, this is
Okay.
just kind of pitch it.
is good.
Basically, almost like a pitch
Right,
to people that are listening. That
I think if they keep going the way they're going, it has some really cool, I guess, directions. I think it catches the ethos, just the aura of Star Wars and every character perfectly. They clearly have a lot of good minds on this game, and it's very young, and it's a great opportunity to get started on a young game and be able to be 10 years from now and be like, I remember when I first bought the core set, which is cool, and it's and to have these conversations of cards, and some of these kids would be like, oh, what are these? What was that card? And I don't know. And that's just because in Magic, I have a couple buddies like that who have been around since the beginning and who can talk about these things, and I'm such a schmuck. So yeah, it's a good game. Mind tease. It's like chess for
Star Wars
geeks. Yeah, and it's
totally
cool. And it's a good brain teaser, and do it. Just buy it.
Just do it.
Case.
Just I guess I would say give it a chance. I mean, it's a decent price. I mean, $60. I know sometimes it's hard to just spend $60 on a card game.
You mean for everything?
For the core set?
No,
right?
the core set's only
30,
25, 30, I think. Yeah,
okay, 60 for everything.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to get that in the expansion, I think you're looking at
do it now. I mean, before you
Yeah.
have to go back and
But I mean, if you don't want to spend money on the cards, watch some tutorials at least to try to just see how it's played, because it is interesting. I would say give it a chance, see how it's played. If you're a Star Wars fan, you would most likely love this game because it represents Star Wars very well. And I would, I'd just say, I mean, if you wanted to watch our tutorials that will come out eventually,
Yes, I will get those out.
then watch those or something. Just I mean, play it because it's fun. It's Star Wars. I mean, geez, you need something to pass time before the movies come out. Get this and play the game all the time.
Now, this is your first card game, really. Well, no, you did Pokemon, right?
Barely dabbled in Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
we never actually played the card. We just collected.
I feel
collectors.
like we did pretty good in Pokemon though. I feel like we played pretty close to the rules, honestly.
We tried.
I feel like there weren't a whole lot of rules to even.
I don't think there
look
was
up.
either,
So I
but-
think we did pretty
Yeah.
accurate.
Now, this being my complete first taste of a card game. Now, I'm a big poker player.
Right.
That counts. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, for years, I was a huge poker player, playing a lot of tournaments. I actually won decent amount of money. But this is completely different. But I'm also a chess player. I play guys from high school on this chess app, And this is, like I said before, this is a huge. I think this is a very good combination of both.
All right.
I have my strategy of my cards in my hand. I have strategy that on the play area, like chess. I mean, it's just, and on top of that, it's Star Wars. Now, I do have to admit, I probably would not be as into a game if it was not for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because I hear these guys talking that play Star Wars. They keep talking about Netrunner. I think is another game by Fantasy Flight. That was one of their popular living card games. Game of Thrones is catching wind. A lot of people are getting into Game of Thrones. I don't know what Netrunner is. I haven't watched Game of Thrones.
yeah.
Star Wars is life. I mean, I've known Star Wars all my life, and like you said, Case, it is really tied to the movies, the cards, the uniqueness of them, the abilities of them. It really is Star Wars, and I encourage anybody that loves Star Wars to get into it, to try it. It's growing. I mean, the tournament's going. There's people that are catching wind of it, not just card gamers, but people that are really, really diving into it, and I think they're enjoying it a lot. It's fun. It's endless fun, and it's not the same game every time. You know what I mean? It changes. And your strategies change, cards change. Your deck will always change as long as that's why it's called living card game, because they keep adding stuff and improving stuff. So so I encourage it. So what we're gonna do as far as the contest goes? Now people are listening. I tweeted out there that we were really wanting to give this to somebody that that really wants to play this and to learn it. There's a couple. There's 3 guys out there really that really listen to us religiously, and that have entered in all ways. They have commented. They're following us. They follow the Star Wars the card game. So I have to say now, and you guys, I haven't told you guys this.
Oh my!
But one of those guys, because we said anybody who follows were entered, but those guys had the most chances.
Right.
So, did the drawing. One of them did win the core set. One of those 3 guys.
Who is it?
Oh, okay.
Who is it?
I'm not going to say. And this is the reason why. Because I really love this core set. And I love this game.
Yeah.
And I want to spread it. Right? So, all 3 of those guys are getting core set.
Oh my gosh! You get a corset. You get a corset. And the other guy gets a
Look
corset.
underneath your chairs right now in your car. We have snuck into your house and planted this where you're sitting. It's crazy. Oh,
If you're not saying,
we need
you
to
are now.
Yeah.
Because the great thing is these guys are not necessarily just living here. They're all over the country. One of them lives here. So Jacob's going to get a core set. CJ.
Yeah. There you go.
I think he's in Texas.
Houston, yeah. I believe
He's in Houston?
yes.
The whole planet Houston?
We're sending you a core set.
Planet Houston.
And then Roger Rayburn.
Oh, okay.
We're sending you a core set.
There you go.
Did you hear that, guys?
So you guys are going to get core sets.
You guys got
are
it.
going to get a
Spread it
chance to
in your area.
You guys are going to get a chance to. Thanks for participating. For one, you guys are the ones mainly that I know you guys retweeted it. You guys were the ones that really, really wanted this, and I know Jacob really, really wanted it too.
Yeah.
He actually joined Twitter just to enter
Whoa.
I saw. Yeah, he didn't.
because he was sitting here. He did in the comics podcast with me, and I told him about it. He's like, and he texted me that night, and he's like, "I did all 5, man. I'm in."
I am.
So he had 5 chances, and all those other guys had 5 chances too. So congratulations to you guys. I'll be tweeting you guys to get your addresses. I think I got CJ's already because he won.
Yeah.
He won those Sith
Okay. The rule 2
figures,
guys,
right? I think, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, for one, I'm glad. I wanted to kind of reward our loyal listeners, and 1 and 2, I want the game to get out there.
Yeah.
We need to get this game out there and get some more players and
Spread the word.
spread the word. Yeah.
Spread
So
Was it the
Gary, no trash cougar.
the no
or something
trash
like that?
cougar?
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
So I just actually decided to do this today. So forgive me. It may take some time to get the core sets to you because I think A+ only has 1 left.
Yeah.
So I'll have to get them to order me a couple more, but I assure you guys will be getting them sent to you guys. So, all right.
What a nice guy.
That's cool.
Yeah, we're
That's
gonna get this game out there.
Heck yeah.
So like when we're waiting in line for episode 7, we're gonna be like playing card games.
Yes.
Everybody in line is gonna be playing card games.
That's so true. We got to have like a big. Oh my gosh, that's
We
gonna
can
pass the
camp
time.
out, just, like,
Yeah.
play card games.
Play cards all the time.
Yeah.
Why don't you do it for a week? I'll take off work.
Yeah,
It's Christmas. If it fits around Christmas time, I don't know.
Yeah.
Might be Christmas break for
Vacation.
me.
Yes. All right, so that is episode 23.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in and listening to us. That is August Mashup.
Wow, that is August Mashup.
You want to know all you want about the Star Wars the card game, go listen back. We go through all the affiliations. We talk about the matches that we've played in. We talk about our decks, our favorite cards.
Do it justice.
Yeah, and coming soon, I don't know how we're trying to figure it out. We might actually do not a weekly podcast, but we talked about doing a Star Wars the card game podcast.
Yes.
Just every once in a while, kind of talking about our cards, certain games, even commentating a game or two. So we'll let you know about that on KooCast and on Inside the Force when we get to that and we get to doing that. So, anyway, that would do it. Corey, thanks for joining us.
It has been an honor and a pleasure. I've loved it.
I'm sure we'll do this again.
Yeah, I'll do something like this.
Yeah. So, any last words?
Just that I'm honored. Thanks, guys, for having me. It's good times. Good times.
And for Casey Cooley?
Why, you slimy double-crossing no-good swindler. You got a lot of nerve coming here after what you pulled. And then and Harrison points at himself, as he points always. Points at himself. Then he like that big hug.
Yeah.
That laugh. He was like, how you doing, yo, pirate? So good to see you. I wanted to do this deal's getting worse all the time.
Yeah.
But seriously,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that $1 million.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna take your clothes.
What have you done to my ship?
Yeah. Your ship. Hey, you lost her to me fair and square.
Yeah. That's good.
Good
A little
time.
too close. He has so many good lines.
Yeah.
All right. Tune in next week for another episode of Inside the Force. We are not exactly sure if we're going to theme a month or not. We kind of talked about maybe not theming. We don't know. But
Not theming.
Probably
Themeless.
will. We actually might piggyback on what's going on with DC Comics in September. They are going through what's called Villains Month. So we might actually talk about a
that's
bunch
cool.
of Star Wars villains. But we'll have a meeting about it, me
discuss.
and Casey, and we'll discuss. So, all right. So for all the guys here, I'm David Cottingham, and may the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network, a collection of weekly podcasts. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.